Good morning, everyone. I see that some of us remembered to go on standard time. I have a feeling. I have a feeling people were here earlier, thinking it was 9 o'clock, wondering what's going on. Why isn't the center open? And they went home. That's what I think. But those of us who were on top of things, we realized that we should turn our clocks back and have that extra hour of sleep that we missed last spring. I've been waiting for this. All right. So, I want, hello? Hello? Oh, it's okay. I want to welcome the people who are viewing us online and all of you here here at the Center for Spiritual Living, St. Augustine. Welcome you to the morning meditation. I like to start by just breathing, and I massage my forehead a little bit just to relax that area, because I don't know about you, but that's why I have these deep lines here. And I just relax, and then rub my cheeks ever so lightly. It feels good. Just keep relaxing. And the jawline. Maybe part your lips a little bit. And lightly touch the ears. And your throat. That felt good. And so let's just relax our shoulders, sit comfortably in the chair. And I'll start with this opening reading. You may remember this because I did this a year ago, and I just love it, and I want to do it every year. So here we go. There is a reason you are here. Every human being's purpose is identical. It is to be the Spirit of God manifesting in the human condition. As you awaken to being, your entire perspective of life changes, and that comes from the art of being. Ernest Holmes says, "Spirit will mold our purposes when we allow it to." The soul knows only how to be in the present moment because that is where it actualizes its mission. If you are alive, it is because your mission isn't complete. Do you want proof? Place your hand on your beating heart. Go ahead and do that now. That is the universe telling you there is something more for you to do and be today. Life is seeking an outlet for creative expression through you. Open to it. Allow it. Receive it. Feel it. Honor it and be it. And then, as the Nike ads say, just do it. So with that, what I want to do is first acknowledge and appreciate how often I have kept myself open to the creative energy of the universe and have created things. And I'm going to, right now, right here, just sit with that and appreciate myself for the good that I do because Spirit moves me to do it. It works through me to do it. That's quite a nice thought. Can you feel the energy of the universe in your body as you stay open and allow it to do what it wants to do through you, through me? Let us feel the joy of that. Let us appreciate that right now. As we sit quietly, let's just appreciate. And as we feel the joy from appreciating that we are open to spirit, to allowing it to create through us. As we feel that joy, let's affirm to Spirit that we want to stay open as many moments as we can so that its goodness can flow through us, as us. Because we are the vessels through which it creates, through which it expresses. That's really an amazing thought. Let's just meditate on that. As I said earlier when we started the meditation, life is seeking an outlet for creative expression through you. Open to it, allow it, receive it, feel it, honor it, and be it. And that's the practice I'm working on right now, which is to honor it. I often do things and then I just check it off my list and move on to the next thing without honoring really what it was that Spirit was expressing through me by doing what I did. And so I'll close this meditation with great gratitude for each of us being here this morning, appreciating your allowing Spirit to express in all the ways that you do that support this center. And I release this into the universe simply and easily by saying, and so it is.
woke up this morning to a garbage truck. Looks like this old horseshoe's done run out of luck. If I came home, would you let me in? Fry me some pork chops and forgive my sin. Surround me with your boundless love. Confound me with your boundless love. I was drowning in a sea, lost as I could be, when you found me with your boundless love. Well, sometimes my old heart is like a washing machine. It bounces around till my soul comes clean. And when I'm clean and hung out to dry, I'm gonna make you laugh till you cry. Oh, surround me with your boundless love. Confound me with your boundless love. I was drowning in a sea, lost as I could be, when you found me with your boundless love. And if by chance I should find myself at risk of falling from this jagged cliff, well, I look below and I look above, and I'm surrounded by your boundless love. So surround me with your boundless love. Confound me with your boundless love. I was drowning in a sea, lost as I could be, when you found me in your boundless love. You dumbfound me with your boundless love. You surround me with your boundless love. Good morning, all. Words of grace from the late John Prine. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, What a wonderful world. The colors of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. And I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying that I love you. And I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. And they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, ooh, what a wonderful world. Oh, the colors of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying that I love you. And I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. That it is. Well, I'm glad to be back here with y'all. There'll be days like this when it's not always raining. There'll be days like this when there's no one complaining. There'll be days like this when everything falls into place just like the flick of a switch. Oh, you must remember, there'll be days like this when you don't need to worry. There'll be days like this, and when the world's not in a hurry, there'll be days like this when you don't get betrayed by that old Judas kiss. Oh, you must be thankful that there's days like this. Ooh, we must remember there'll be days like this when you don't need an answer. There'll be days like this when you don't take a chance. No, there'll be days like this when all the parts of the puzzle just start to look like they fit. Then you must be thankful that there's days like this. Ooh, we must remember there'll come days like this. When we gather in our union, there'll be days like this. And when we sing this common tune, no, there'll be days like this. When sharing hope and love is just the way that it is. Ooh, we come together on a day like this. Ooh, you must remember there'll be days like this. Yeah, when we gather in our union, when we sing a common tune then, and when sharing hope and love is just the way that it is. Ooh, one and all, remember there'll be days like this, and we must be ever thankful we have days like this, and we're all here together on a day like this. That's right. Yeah. And we grow in numbers. It looks like daylight saving time didn't fool everybody. Fooled me. I never know if I'm supposed to fall backwards or spring forward or what I'm doing. My life flows on in endless song, a mother's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? While through this tempest loudly roars, I hear the truth it liveth, but though the darkness around me close, songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while through the rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord on heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? And when tyrants tremble in their fear and hear their death knell ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? in prison cell, dungeon vile. Our thoughts to them are winging when friends by shame are undefiled. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? All right, on this day of daylight savings and savings of all sorts, it's my pleasure to introduce our friend and mentor here, Dr. Ken Wilcox.
There we go. That's it. So let's see, where was I beginning? So welcome to be here. You know, each Sunday I always ask you to do one simple thing, and that is to leave all your troubles, your could'ves, your would'ves, your should'ves, to leave that stuff outside, and for the next 45 minutes or so to open up an avenue of spirit possibilities. What are spirit possibilities? Well, they're for more love, more joy, more happiness, more laughter, more of everything in life that makes us feel alive. Because that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, I've got a couple of announcements this morning, and really more than announcements, it's just kind of a sharing of everything that we're doing here. Because, you know, we really are doing some amazing good work here, and I am feeling so good about it. We're developing partnerships with people, with different groups outside our center. The past 2 weeks, we've had an interfaith service doing prayer work for peace in the Middle East. We've made a donation for an ambulance that will operate in Gaza. We've got Diwali coming up next week, which is there you go, which is a Hindu celebration. So come next week, and it'll be an interactive thing, and we'll have Indian food, so that'll be wonderful. We're planning an interfaith Thanksgiving service, which is going to be the week before Thanksgiving. I think that's on November 16th, down at the Pumpkin Church downtown at 6:30. We're going to have our own Thanksgiving event here. On Thanksgiving Day, we'll be gathering here and having an open house Thanksgiving for friends and family. And then on December 2nd, we're going to have a commitment dinner and celebration, and that will be with Eddie Watkins Jr. Now, if that's not enough, we also are going to be adopting kids for Christmas, kids that wouldn't normally get Christmas gifts. We're going to be adopting them. We'll have a candle lighting service on Christmas Eve and our burning bowl and white stone ceremony on January 7th. We had an amazing event here on Friday. We had a classic theater come here and do a reading here. We got probably like 70 people, so it was really wonderful. We've done some things to reorganize the auditorium, and now we have a pre-service coffee service. So be sure, make yourself a cup of coffee, just put a lid on it, and enjoy yourself there. We are being very flexible, and we are opening ourselves up to the greater good. And I think that's what we have to do in this time. This is a challenging time for spiritual communities, and we're required to be nimble. But we have something important to say, and we have something important to do. And Spirit is with us, supporting us every step of the way, and your support is vital in making that happen. So we are doing good and purposeful work in the world. We're making a difference, and you're a part of that difference. So give yourself a hand in celebration for all of that. Well, all right. Before we get going, I think let's have a wonderful song from our amazing singer Don. Don, where is Don at? Come on up, Don. Do a song for us.
Morning again. I think this is maybe the third time I've joined you. And the meditation this morning, is really interesting, to accept the creative opportunities that the universe gives you. And this has kind of turned out to be one of those. I was called up to fill in for somebody, and I received great rewards from it. So I'm glad to join you. And since it's obviously an equal opportunity room, based upon all the good works that Ken just put down and the different things, I'm going to do a song that I've done before. I'll raise my voice and sing. I wrote it. I shouldn't have to look up the words, but you know how that goes, don't you? You hear this guitar all right? It's about my recognition of the power of congregation, especially when it's fueled by song. Well, there's a sacred tune that dwells inside of me. I've heard it in the mountains, I've heard it by the sea. It calls us all together, the many and the one. It's been around forever, it never goes unsung. It's the sum of all that's true, and all I've got to do is raise my voice and sing. And it echoes through the canyons, it whispers in the trees. It fills my heart with gladness, it resonates in me. It's the sound of angels passing, the zephyrs high above. An answer to my asking for just a little bit of love to help me make it through. And all I've got to do is raise my voice and sing. Alleluia, Hare Ram, Waheguru, Satnam, Kyrie, Okahe, Namaste, Amen. And this sacred tune, so clarion, so clear, resounds across the ages for everyone to hear. Hey, it doesn't need a venue, it doesn't need a band. Just open up and then you may come to understand that it's ancient yet it's new, and all we've got to do is raise our voice and sing. Waheguru, Satnam, Kyrie, Okahe, Namaste, Amen. Hallelujah, Hare Ram, Waheguru, Satnam, Kyrie, Okahe, Namaste, Amen. Yeah, there's a sacred tune that dwells inside of me.
Thank you, Don. And now we're going to have a reading and treatment. And it's Brenda. Come on up, Brenda. You're welcome.
Everyone. So this morning at meditation, what I focused on was Spirit wants to create through us. It wants to express through us, but it only can do that when we are open to it. And so I'm bringing this poem back from a year ago. I think I've done it twice before, but I just love this poem, and I hope that you'll appreciate it a third time, about creating. It's called Create Today by Darlene Parnell. What is it we will create today? With how we show up and the words we say, with what's in our heart, with the thoughts in our mind, what will we create? When we choose to be kind, when we radiate love deep from our heart, we create a place where miracles start. What is it we will create today? Let it be love with the words we say. Radiate joy, see good everywhere. Allow your thoughts to be ones of prayer. What is it we will create today? Heaven on earth, that is the way. Anybody remember that? Do you remember that one? Anyway, so let us go into an affirmative prayer, and I'm going to do this in the first person, so you do it as take with it what you want. But I know that there is one divine intelligence in the universe. It is the universe. It has its intelligence, it has its laws by which it creates everything, through rocks, pebbles, flowers, us. And it can only create when we are open to it. We need to accept it and allow it to flow and know that it is Spirit expressing through us when we create. And also, something that I know is that I want to honor it when it happens. I don't always do that. And I want to, and I do, honor it more often because I appreciate what Spirit does through me to create this beautiful world we live in, the love, the compassion, the joy, the happiness. This center, all of us here, it's an amazing thing. The whole thing is a big miracle to me. And so I give gratitude for this knowledge, this knowing. Oh, it's such a, I don't even know the word for it, what it is. It's such a something. I'm not sure of the word. An amazing thing. And I appreciate that. I give gratitude for it. I give gratitude for the center, for Ken with his leadership, his staying open to all possibilities for this center and leading us into it and us being accepting of it. I give gratitude for Don, who's providing his beautiful music today, to the Reiki practitioners, to all the volunteers, for everybody that keeps this center alive and well. And I release this into the universe simply and easily by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Brenda. That was lovely. So my talk title today is A Greater Life. Joseph Campbell, who was a really eminent scholar, he studied spirituality in all religions. His main premise was that all religions are teaching the same thing. They're all saying the same thing. If you want to learn more about him, you can go on YouTube. He did this whole series of lectures with Bill Moyers, and they're really wonderful. So Joseph Campbell. And this is what he also said. He says, you've got to give up the life you planned in order to have the life that's waiting for you. Christ said something very similar. He said, the person who loses their life shall find it. If you lose your life, you'll find it. Dr. Holmes, the founder of our teaching, he said this statement encapsulated the whole teaching, the whole ministry of Jesus. The understanding that Source, God, The universe is life itself. The universe, God is life itself. And I say often, God is not loving, God is love. God didn't create life, God is life. And so we have to be careful when we say we hate life, we're saying we hate God. It's better to say, all right, Spirit, I'm doing my part here. You need to show up something, you need to have something show up that I can fall in love with. Now, most people, when they do that, they'll want something big. They want to be, they want Brad Pitt to come knocking on the door at 9:30 at night. Do you know how much trouble Brad Pitt would be? Can you imagine the hair care products? We're not even talking about the skin care products he would need. Oh, yeah, for 45 minutes or so, Brad would be nice, but you'd be ready to get rid of him, by the next morning. Yeah. Hopefully. So we want to look for small things. If you acknowledge the small gifts then you'll find the bigger things. Look for small things to be grateful for, because if you miss the small things, you'll miss the large ones too. So you want to just acknowledge the small little threads. Last week on my Apple Watch, I found that I could have a Mickey Mouse on my dial, and he pats his foot to the seconds. Yeah. A small something, but the more you recognize the small things and give gratitude for them, the more your eyes will open up to the large things. And I think it was Raymond Charles Barker. He said, you can get to a place where all of life is a miracle. All of life is a miracle. Holmes said, you got to let go of the lesser aspects so you can attract the greater ones. And Spirit has a big, huge idea for you. In fact, you were a big, huge idea in the mind of God when you were created. Spirit was so enraptured of the idea of you, it thought you into creation. And it has never been disappointed with you for a moment. Never. It's been always way more impressed about your possibilities than any mistake you've ever made. And it's still in awe of your potential. And it is wanting to rush resources to you so that you and it can create the blessings in life that you're here to experience. You and creation. And, of course, this means you have to remind yourself that you're not alone on this journey. And that even when things don't look like they're working out the way you want them to, that there's a greater knowing. There's a greater gift happening. Our last board meeting that we got together, I was talking to the board, and we were talking about our music program. And I remember when we had Eddie Watkins Jr. here, and if you weren't here, you didn't hear him, he was an amazing guy. Boy, he and I could link up very well together. And then he got a better opportunity, and of course, I was very excited for him to have the better opportunity. He got an opportunity we couldn't match, so I was excited. But at the same time, I was disappointed to see him going and wondering what kind of music program we would be able to pull together. And Mike Lally got to work, and he went out and was, interviewing people, doing research, and soon enough, we've got a music program now that is as good and in a different way, even better maybe. It's better than the idea I had. You see, I thought we would just have one entertainer. Now we have 4 or 5 producing great music. Spirit, yeah. Spirit wanted a variety of music, and that wasn't a concept I had. I had to get out of my own way to let a bigger blessing bloom forth. And this is what we have to do. We've got to release our smaller idea so a greater idea can be born. Now, Christ, when he was talking about losing our lives, he wasn't talking about it in the literal sense, but letting go of the layers of confusion and unhappiness and false perceptions to embrace our spiritual essence, our spiritual truth. And the truth about us is that we've come to life to live well, to experience the glory of God made manifest through our best ideas of how we can bring more love and joy and health and prosperity to ourselves, to each other, and to the world. It's a journey of knowing ourselves as God knows us. Because it seems like for me, I've been trying to talk God out of my best ideas for me. And this happens all through Scripture. When Moses first was talking to the burning bush says, "Go to Pharaoh, tell Pharaoh, let my people go." And Moses argues with the burning bush. "No, I don't want to do it. I can't talk. I'm too shy. Send somebody else." God, "No, you're the one." Spirit may be telling you you're the one to have abundant health. Don't argue with God. Spirit may be telling you're the one to open up the next big business adventure. Don't argue with God. Spirit may be telling you're the one to have amazing love in your life. Give up arguing. Activate the power of yes in your life. Say, "Yes, I'm ready for it." All right, Spirit, show me, awe me, lift me up with wonder and with grace. I want to be amazed at how much I'm loved. And this is what we can do when we let go of that confusion and negativity and self-doubt. It's a challenge to affirm peace when we're in the middle of chaos. It's to affirm abundance when we have scarcity. But Dr. Holmes says that losing our lives means letting go of the false perceptions, trading the unreal for the real, trading the lies for the truth. Because it is a lie that you've come to life to live in lack and limitation. It's a lie that you're here to live without love. It's a lie that you're here to not experience all the goodness Spirit has in mind for you. To find our happiness, we've got to let go of every trace of unhappiness in our thinking, every negativity in our thinking. It reminds me of in Jewish households when they prepare for Passover at some point, because they have to clean out every bit of leaven in the household so the bread will remain flat. And so they scrub down the cabinets, and in tradition, the rabbi will come with a feather to see if he can find one little gram of leaven. Now, if you show up at my house with a feather looking in my cabinets, you're going to get a sponge and a spray of Clorox. You're going to get in there and do some work. Yeah. But releasing that negativity is what we're called to do. And if we can't do it, because sometimes we're human, at least not give it energy. At least not give it energy. It's okay to catch yourself in a negative frame of mind from time to time, but don't indulge in it. Don't brew yourself a cup of black coffee and light a cigarette. Let it go. Purposely bring in a positive. And if you can't do it for yourself, call a practitioner. We have those around here who can train to give you a better idea and get a positive knowing for yourself. If we're seeking a closer walk with Spirit, we need to stop running with the devil. If we aspire to live in the kingdom of heaven, we've got to let go of the idea of hell, except for our relatives and certain politicians. You got to have some place to put them. You don't want them visiting you come summertime, yeah. It's about redirecting our focus from the negative, from despair to hope, from fear to love. From fear to love. And for me, it's just knowing in the long run, it's going to turn out all right. It's going to be okay. Because in the long run, it's going to be all about God. So in the long run, we're all going to get there. Dr. Holmes says, no, not one of us shall be missing. And so if a situation isn't good, God isn't done with it yet. I love the movie, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Remember it came out a couple years ago? And the chief clerk, the young guy who owned the hotel, he said, if everything's not okay in the end, then it's not the end yet. Yeah, it's because in the end, it's going to be okay. Spirit's still working on it. I met with my prayer partner last week. We've been doing prayers for each other for probably 20 years now. And she gave me a book that it's kind of funny. This book has followed me almost all of my working life. When I was a speechwriter and a press secretary on a Capitol Hill, an editor of a little small newspaper in Georgia had sent it to me. And he said, I thought of you. I want to send this book to you. And it was very strange. I had no relationship with this guy at all. I didn't talk to him, or I may have met him briefly, but I guess he was reading the stuff that I was sending out. I was convinced no one was, but I guess somebody was, and it caused him to buy this book to send to me, and it's Robert Fulghum's Everything I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. And it's a delightful book. And my prayer partner, Bev, she had found it at a used bookstore, and she had gifted it to me. And so I was really pleased. It was like meeting an old friend again. And I was flipping through it, and one of the favorite stories I have was when Robert was a minister. He was a Unitarian minister in close to Seattle, I think. And he said he was out grocery shopping one day. He says he turns the corner, and he says he just comes on a scene of total chaos. A young member of his church, a young guy, is with his little 3-year-old boy. The little boy has knocked over a can. Remember those tall displays of tomato sauce? Has knocked over this huge display. Cans are everywhere. The dad has yelled at the little 3-year-old. The 3-year-old now is so upset because dad has yelled at him that he's dissolved in tears and just hysterics. Dad is trying to placate the little 3-year-old, and before he can, the little guy just throws up on everything. Robert says he turned the corner and went back in the other direction. Yeah. Now, fast forward 30 years. Robert's out at Thanksgiving time. He's going to the grocery store again. He hadn't left the neighborhood. He comes up on a 4-way stop. He sees 2 guys running. One guy is really fit in the prime of his physicality. The other one is an older guy. And he realizes it. It's the little 3-year-old boy, now 33 years old, in his full strength. The dad is the older guy. And he says, as they're approaching the stop, he notices that the young man looks at his car, judges, is he going to stop? Is it going to be safe? He's ready to hold out, to keep the dad back in safety. What was a catastrophe had now become this really thing of love. Love. If we will stay focused on the Spirit's ability, on God's ability to bring love in our life, there is nothing in the world that can hold it back. The love of God will not be held back by none of the chaos, none of the confusion, none of the turmoil that's going on in our world. Spirit weaves for us threads of love and compassion into the fabric of our lives. And if we're open to this power, it will create a divine path of manifesting and cultivating a mindset infused with love. Mahatma Gandhi once said, we must be the change we want to see in the world. We have to step up and be the change. We can't wait on anyone else. We've been doing that long enough. We've got to step up and realize we're the answer for the challenges the world is facing. that we together in partnership with Spirit have the power to create the heaven on earth that we've been called to do. It's ours to do, and we can do it. To be the change agent that's needed and necessary now. And to know that we're not alone, that we've got a power with us that we can direct through our thoughts and our energies that can shape reality and invite the divine into our experience. And to embrace the perspective that Spirit is active in our lives, that we're co-creators with the love of God to reforming the world anew. Mother Teresa said, spread love wherever you go. She says, never let somebody who interact with you not leave without feeling encouraged, a little bit inspired. And sometimes it's just about recognizing them as a human being. I'm sure you've seen the video of the homeless man. And one of the things he said is, he says, people treat me as if I don't have a name. They won't look at me in the eye. Sometimes it's just about recognizing a person as a human being. Through our loving actions and compassionate thoughts, we can transform our lives, touch the lives of others, and create a ripple effect of possibilities and grace. The whole world will feel it, the whole world. By consciously focusing our thoughts, we can align ourselves with our divine essence. Rumi says, our task is not to seek love. Our task is to break down the barriers within ourselves that keeps love from flowing. We can become founts of Spirit's love right where we are. And when we do that, we're not going to have to worry about what's going on in the world. We're going to become beacons of God's love, of God's compassion and kindness through us. And we can do it by choosing love over fear, kindness over judgment, compassion over indifference. We create a sacred space. And that's what we've done for ourselves here today. And the world's going to be better for it. The Dalai Lama says, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible. That kindness begins within ourselves and our own hearts to ourselves. And then joy becomes the lifting up the vibration of humanity, to see that love is possible, that peace is inevitable, that the goodness and glory of God will not be held back by our foolishness, that there's a coming day, and our kindness will pave the way for God's love to manifest, transforming not only our lives, but the world around us. A better day is coming. It's coming through us, for us, and with us. So we've got to turn loose of this negativity. It's not to hold ourselves off into a closet. We've got to be out in the world. But to say this might be the reality, but it's not the truth of me. This turmoil that's going around in the world, this is not the truth for me. The truth is I'm a child of God. The truth is I've come to live in love and joy and prosperity. The truth is I surround myself with loving and supportive people. The truth is my heart and souls are beacons of God's love and compassion and kindness, and we're making a difference in the world. This is the truth in your life this morning. This is the truth in mine, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Never fails. I always get, part of the expectation is that something comes to mind off of what Ken says that relates. And boy, so many things relate to that one. But I had mentioned before that one of the benefits I get out of joining you is that I've been writing songs specifically for you. And this is this week's. It could be a little rough because I just wrote it, but who cares? maybe 40 years ago or so, amazingly, I was tasked to interpret a morning prayer for the Sikh religion. It's called Jap Sab, very long, in Gurmukhi, which is the language of the Punjab, North India. So I had someone translate it. And it was a huge, long love song. I mean, that's what it was. And made me more aware back then, that the love that, it ain't Hollywood, it's not pop music. I mean, it exists there, but it's much larger. That kind of love just makes me happy. That kind of love just gets me through. The kind of love I only get from you. When I feel it deep inside me, I know there's nothing I can't do. And that's the kind of love I get from you. You are the answer to whatever's troubling me. In times of anger, it's as though my heart was locked, but you've got the key. That kind of love just makes me happy. That kind of love just gets me through. And that's the kind of love I get from you. I thought I was abandoned and had somehow lost my way. Empty heart and handed till you filled me with your love. And I gotta say, that kind of love just makes me happy. That kind of love just gets me through. The only kind of love I get from you. That kind of love just makes me happy. That kind of love just gets me through. The kind of love I only get from you. This brought me back to my kind of like my middle school days. And Buddy Holly, I always wanted to go, hoo-hoo. You are the rising sun that starts my every day. And when the day is done, are you still with me all the way? That kind of love just makes me happy. That kind of love just gets me through. The only kind of love I get from you. The only kind of love I get from you.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I love the idea we're inspiring Don to write creative music for us, so thank you very much. All right, so now we come to the time we support our center, and we do that because this is a really special place. This is a beacon of love and hope and light, and your support is making it happen. Now, you can support us in a couple of ways. One thing you can do is just hold us in consciousness, see us growing and thriving, becoming that out in the community. You can also support us by volunteering. We always have things to volunteer, and you can support us by money. Which is always wonderful. However you choose to support us, if you will place your intention over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. The ushers, a step down, please. Don, I know you got some great music for us.
I love the thought of, what was it, forgetting the life that you planned? It's about knowing where you're going. Doesn't matter where you've been. Being present in the moment is a good time to begin. If you think you have to think about it, and the doubt's already in, 'cause there's more to do. There's so much more to do. It's about staying on the right track, but not minding when you stray. There's a road that always winds back. With luck you'll find your way. If you think you have to think about it, then it's probably not okay. 'Cause there's more to do, so much more to do. All tossing and a turning won't get you anywhere. If you haven't got the will to live, the heart to try, in time no one will care. Like flying across the ocean, ooh, it's like walking into town. You don't reach your destination till the wheels and heels touch down. If you think you have to think about it, then you better turn around. 'Cause there's more to do, so much more to do. Oh, tossing and a turning won't get you anywhere. If you haven't got the urge to move, the will to live, in time no one will care. Ooh, it's like flying across the ocean, like walking into town. You don't reach your destination till the wheels and heels touch down. Hey, if you think you have to think about it, you better turn around. 'Cause there's more to do, there's so much more to do. Ooh, there's more to do, so much more to do.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. That was wonderful. Thank you, Betsy. That's okay. We thank you. We thank you. We bless it. We know that your support is allowing us to grow and to thrive and continue being this beacon of love and light. So we thank you. We bless it. We release it, knowing it does its good and powerful work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, Karen. Kind of switched up on me a little bit here. That's all right. Okay, so let's conclude our service with affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person. Take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There's but one God and one mind and one power. And that power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. And that power is showing up in the physical through me, with me, and for me. So here today, I choose to lift my eyes up to a better knowing for myself. I choose to think of myself as Spirit thinks of me, not as weak and wounded, but bold and dynamic, here to make a difference in the world, here to channel God's energy and compassion in the physical plane. So here today, I now choose to see myself differently. I'm letting go of every idea of lack and limitation of victimhood. I've played with those small ideas long enough. This morning, surrounded by all these wonderful, loving souls, I lift my eyes up to a better knowing for myself. And I'm moving out into the world, courageous and bold and dynamic. God and I have work to do. And that work is about bringing more love, more joy, more laughter, more compassion and kindness into the world. We are here to create a new and better life, a new and better world, a new home, a new Jerusalem. And this morning, I am not turning back. This morning, I am on the move, and Spirit is calling me forward. This morning, I have seen the promised land, and I am on my path. It's my truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, dear friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job is to go to name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and to make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, this is Reverend Ken wishing you many blessings.
I'll get the routine down here again at some point. so many things I want to do for you, but I just keep going back to this to end the day because it's kind of becoming something that we do. And I never would, you know, I'm mostly a writer. I don't cover songs in general in my life, but I found this one and it fits. And I don't know, I can't imagine ever doing it anywhere but here. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Oh, put a little love in your heart. Oh, put a little love in your heart. You've got to put a little love in your heart. Come on and put a little love in your heart. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred show. Put a little love in your heart. Hey, and the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. You've got to put a little love in your heart. Oh, you gotta put a little love in your heart. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. You know that the world will be a better place. Oh, the world's gonna be a better place for you and me and me. You just wait and see. You gotta put a little love in your heart. Oh, you gotta put a little love in your heart, and we will put a little love in our hearts. We've got to keep a little love in our hearts. Have a lovely Sunday.